So today I just wanted to bring a quick video on quarantining fish. And if you notice, this is the same 10-gallon that was supposed to be the saltwater tank, but I ended up taking that down really quick to make this tank because the fish that I'm getting are pretty sensitive to water quality. So I just wanted to make sure, and the tank isn't really set up yet, so I just wanted to make sure that everything with them is fine before I end up adding them to the tank. But back on the topic of quarantining fish. Quarantining fish. Quarantine is something that is, I guess, kind of it's not really debatable in the hobby, but a lot of people say you should, and a lot of people say that it's fine. But from my side, I don't quarantine my fish because I don't know, I just don't. Mainly because the places I get my fish from already have their fish quarantined. But if you're getting them from like online or at the fish store, you should always quarantine your fish for 30 days, as that is basically a general rule of thumb. And a quarantine tank isn't anything special. All it basically needs is a filter, a heater, and maybe a decoration for the fish. So in this 10-gallon tank, I have a sponge filter that was already cycled that's suitable for 20 gallons. I have a 10-gallon heater and a piece of wood that was already in a planted tank that has a bunch of algae and biofilm for the fish that I'm getting. So basically, you want the fish to be in here for around 30 days. Some people say 6 weeks, but usually 30 days at least. Because if you get a fish and it ends up having like ick or some kind of fungus, and you put it into the display tank, and that fish is basically going to spread the disease to every other fish and just ruin your whole display tank. So quarantine tanks are usually used for sick fish, new fish, like you can dose medications in there, and just basically to see if the fish has any diseases, it's not eating, or just any problems in general. So, like I said, the quarantine tank doesn't have to be anything special. I put a piece of wood in there that has a bunch of algae and biofilm for just biological filtration. And because the tank was just recently set up, but this wood has a lot of bacteria on it, and for a food source for the new fish. People usually have like PVC pipes or maybe pieces of wood and maybe a few floating plants for quarantine tanks. I've seen some people use sand in quarantine tanks, which I don't really recommend, as you know, the tank is meant for just viewing the fish to see if it's healthy or not. And this was just a quick video I wanted to bring out because today is Sunday, the Sunday before President's Day, and I am going to get some new fish tomorrow and this week that I'm going to place into the quarantine tank. Some pretty rare fish too, actually, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And I do hope to set up the nano reef back up soon. There wasn't any livestock or rock in it, so it was just a pretty easy takedown. And yeah, make sure to stay tuned for the new videos on the fish. And this is Northwest Fish Keeping signing out. See you in the next video.